Now it felt like a waste of time to shop around for insurance because premiums were climbing. Insurers weren't writing new policies.
Right, there weren't many options,
No.
but things may be changing. Consumer investigator Christine Lazar here to explain. Christine, this is good news.
Yeah, Jamie and Sheba, we always say I can't bring you good news, but today, a little bit of good news. Insurance experts are reporting things we haven't seen in a while. New insurers entering the state, existing carriers are entering zip codes they blacklisted after the Palisades, Eaton, and Woolsey fires. I'm joined now by insurance expert Karl Susman. Karl, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Talk about how the marketplace has recently changed.
It's great to finally be here and have just good things to talk about, right?
So change.
Change, right. Aside from the fire that's going on right now, and we're hoping that this is going to be handled and there won't be too much damage from that. The industry in general has really taken a turn. There's been new legislation that started to go into effect, new regulations from the Department of Insurance, and we're starting to see all of the carriers slowly start coming back, following the new guidelines and offering coverage.
And one of the things I'm seeing is some of these names that I don't recognize, smaller insurers. We're not talking about like the Allstate or the State Farm. Are these kind of newer to the marketplace, the California marketplace, smaller insurers still legitimate and still a worthy option?
It's always important to check to find out if the smaller company, if you've never heard of them, chances are that might be a bit of a red flag. And fortunately, right now, some of the larger names are already back and writing. Mercury Insurance Company is writing, Travelers Insurance is writing, Liberty Mutual is writing. So some solid carriers are really out there aggressively writing policies right now.
What about the FAIR Plan? One of the things we learned from the 2025 wildfires was that far too many Southern Californians are on the FAIR Plan, and the FAIR Plan really can't handle that many people on there. What is going on with the FAIR Plan? Are you starting to see people be able to get off of it and get back to traditional insurance?
Yes, fortunately, again, there were a lot of people that basically break them into two parts. People that are in areas that need to be with the FAIR Plan, that's not going to change. But all of the people that were going there because there simply was not a market to go to, those people should be aggressively looking to find other options now, because there are companies that will write them as long as, again, they're not somewhere that, I say we all accept our areas that need to be with the California FAIR Plan. But if you're not in one of those areas, it's definitely time to start looking.
Right. If you're not right up against the hillside, maybe it's time to make a phone call. So that brings me to my next question. Should everybody at this point be talking to their broker or be going online and shopping around? And if you say yes, what types of things can they do to get the best deal possible?
I think the most important thing right now is to make your brokers sort of work for you. And it's sort of like the proving grounds. I would call them and specifically ask them, say, I know there's new regulations. There's the sustainable insurance strategy. That's sort of the buzz phrase. If your broker doesn't know what that is, it might be time to look for another one. But you want to tell them, say, I know there's new guidelines from the sustainable insurance strategy. What companies are now writing business based on that? What new discounts are available based on that? And let them really go out and look, because that's the phrase that pays at this point, because the carriers that have filed based on those guidelines are going to be the most aggressive and the most competitive for coverage.
And before we go, if people don't know, that plan is essentially saying we're going to reward homeowners for doing things to harden their homes, like putting on new roofs, cutting back brush. So you're saying that the carriers are now giving actual tangible discounts for doing those things.
Ooh, I know,
yeah,
it's hard
finally
to imagine. Yes, it's giving them the ability to write in areas that they couldn't before, and it's giving a lot more control back to homeowners who will actually do things to make the home safer from wildfire. And yes, they're actually able to give significant discounts.
And one last thing before you go, because we all think about this, as I'm watching the fire burn in Simi Valley, is there like a direct result of that? Do you start seeing carriers get gun shy again when we have a fire like this?
Let me tell you, the emails start flowing, right? We start hearing about it. And yes, it makes them nervous. It's another wildfire. It's, can we get through a few months, a year, maybe 2 years without having one? I think what's going to happen is right now, people that are in those areas, obviously they're not able to buy or increase their coverage. Once the fire is out and everything is reassessed, I think what we'll learn again is more about building codes, more about home hardening, more about what is it more important that we do to try and protect our homes from the next fire that comes.
All right, Karl, you always have a lot of good insight for us. We appreciate it.